discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Fat Nice Nerd Run-Throughs, and yes, you might think we did another top 10 right after another top 10, and we did. So this is games we didn't expect to like, our top 10 games we didn't expect to like for whatever reason. Mainly mine was based off of a theme or mechanisms. Obviously I don't know what else. The box is stupid. Yeah, I don't know. But
actually,
my number one, that Forbidden Desert, that tin, I hate it.
Well, or think about like the one that John likes, with the crappy art, the Concordia.
Oh,
like if I liked that, I don't think I would like that game if I.
That's true.
If you looked at
art, yeah.
But no, that's not on my list. I just.
I made my list. This is actually I did it a little while ago, but because I thought it'd be a lot of fun. I made my list based off of how much I didn't expect to like it, really, and also by how much I actually really liked the game. So
mine would be
so that's
how much mine's rated. How much I actually ended up liking them.
Oh really?
All of them were themes that I didn't necessarily care
or
whatever, but then I ended up liking them in that order.
Do you think we'll have any crossover?
There's maybe only, I would say there's probably only one that there's even a chance. Okay. And I don't even know if that's gonna be on your list.
All right. Yeah, that's true. We do have quite a different taste in games. Okay, so let's go ahead. We have no honorable mention this time because I didn't put one down and I couldn't think of one off the top of my head. I guess I probably could do one, but I'm not gonna. Ethnos, maybe one that it could have been an honorable mention, mainly just because it's set collection and it's bland as hell. It's like here's fantasy. Right. It's like, but what about nothing? Just fantasy. It's actually a pretty good game. I played it the other day and I quite liked it.
Did you want me to say mine?
Yeah, you can just say yours.
Power Grid was mine.
Power Grid.
Electricity, boring, but still good.
It's so cool. All right, so I'll start my number 10 this time. Did you start last? The last one we did 5 minutes ago?
I can't remember who started last time.
That's fine. Matter. I'll start, and my number 10 is Ravens of 3 Sahasree. If you saw our top 10 two-player games, it was mentioned on one of our lists. I'm not going to tell you whose. But Ravens of, John is the one who introduced this game to me. And in all premise, it sounds so stupid. The only thing that kind of drew me was because I really like anime, and so that's what was on it. So basically, the 6-year-old girl is in a coma. Her boyfriend is trying to get her out of it, and these ravens are eating her memories. And it's so asymmetrical gameplay. You're really kind of doing set collection. So the boy and the girl, the person who's playing the girl, can't talk. So she basically needs certain cards to be able to make some type of Japanese poem. I don't remember. I think you need 7775. So the numbers need to add up to 7775. But you get points based on if you play, if you match colors together, and you can use abilities and stuff like that. There's actually a lot of intricacy, there we go, in this game. And whenever we're playing it, it's so smart. This game is actually elegant.
Right. Yeah, I watched you guys play a little bit, and it looked pretty interesting.
It was so cool, and at first it was kind of I mean, I won't say there's ever been a game that was over my head, but that one made me think way outside the box on how it was supposed to work. So the boy plays these cards in the middle that he hopes are what the girl needs, and since the girl can't talk, if the girl could talk, the game would be super easy. But anyway, so he plays cards, and then if he goes, it's suppress your luck. If he plays too many, he can end up losing cards or adding cards that are unnecessary. If he plays too few, we don't have as many options, and the girl can only take one. Anyway, I'm not going to explain the whole game, right. But I think it's a very brilliant game. I got it myself, and John and I there are 3 envelopes that come with it. And we have...
envelopes.
Yeah, well, it's and they basically, they make the game harder each time. We have legitimately beaten the first one, and the second one we did open because we were literally just one card placement wrong. So if he had, I blame Brad, honestly, for coming in and ruining our momentum.
That'll do it.
So we did look it up, and there's no way we're opening the third one. Pretty much, I'm pretty sure the third one is our suicide notes because we're going to kill ourselves.
Yeah.
So cool.
Awesome.
It is pretty cool. So I want to come listen. Thank you.
All right, my number 10 is a nice little filler game. It's probably my family's favorite filler game. The cover looks kind of childish, and it looks kind of kiddie, and it was actually my daughter's. I did buy it at a game store when we were there, and then I tried it, and it actually is really fun. It's called Ghost.
I have no idea.
It has 3 O's.
Okay.
So when you're looking it up,
So like, yeah.
For the image.
Look at this stupid thing.
But here's the cool thing. Yeah, Richard Garfield is who created it. All right, Richard Garfield, as in Magic the Gathering, and stuff like that. And so that was one cool thing I saw. I was like, okay, well, I know this guy. You know, this is going to be pretty interesting, hopefully. It's got the tarot-sized cards, bigger cards, and it's just cards have different rules and stuff, but it's such a fun game. I mean, it's because you hold your hand, you have to. It's almost got the Uno mechanic where you have to put the next number higher on stuff. But then if you don't have that, you have to take all of them. The cards have special abilities, and it's all like ghosts and monsters is what these cards. There's like Cerberus, and it's hard to explain. I mean, look it up if you need it. It has 3 O's. And
the box should be like
exactly right around here or over here or
something. Every time.
but I tell you, I mean, and don't play it the way there's variants with it. Like it comes with these little ghost chits in there, and every time a game is over, your person's supposed to get a chit, and then it's whoever wins 3 games or whatever. But that takes too long for this game.
Really? Okay.
If you just play one game, that takes long enough because. It's just
because you're going to keep getting the cards back.
Because there's first phase of the game is before midnight, and then once the draw deck is empty and all the cards are kind of out, then it's the after midnight phase.
Okay.
And you have a little deck of haunted house cards that are face down. So like after you get rid of the cards in your hand, then you start drawing from that, and whoever gets rid of all their cards in their haunted house and their hand wins.
Okay.
And it's a blast.
It's just fun.
Yeah.
Just one of those games that's like, wow.
I never expected to like it.
You didn't expect to like it because of theme?
It just looked like one of those little kiddie games, you know? Just
right, where it's like...
Right, but I mean, when the girls are like, hey, can we play Ghost? I'm like, yeah, we can do that.
All right. Yeah, so number 9.
Number 9 for me. This one is one that I just played for the first time a week or 2 ago, and then I played it a few times since then. No, that's not on my list, because I figured I'd like that one. And it won a Mensa award.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
Well, it's like the smart people, like all these smart people get together and make these games, you know, that are like brain-burning games or whatever. But they're not always heavy, you know. And this one is World's Fair 1893.
I have seen that one. Okay.
And you look at the box art, it kind of looks. It's like the old, 1893, obviously. So it's like the old carnival cover, and you open it up, and it's got these pictures of these old people, the old people from that time and everything, and then it's just got these colored cubes and stuff, but then you sit there and play it, and the thing out in the middle is an actual merry-go-round that the pieces are going, and you're just buying cards from different places and stuff. Okay. It's hard to explain. You need to watch a video on it because it doesn't sound like much, but then when you sit down to play it, it's really fun.
Right.
You know, and the games don't take very long at all. We played a 4-player game in 30 minutes, and that was the very first game we played. Teaching and I mean, it's just 30 minutes done.
Wow. I have a feeling all your games are going to be short.
And my youngest daughter beat us all.
Did she really?
Yeah.
She's like, you guys are dumb.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna go to that fair.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a different take. You know, it's not like, you know, we talked about Unfair, where it's a different game from that. It really doesn't take it's almost kind of a loose theme.
Okay.
You know.
Right.
It's more you're getting cards and you're getting the money and the I don't know how to really explain it. Just check it out, you know, and it's definitely worth the time. And it's a cheap game. It's like $20 or something like that, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm hoping to actually pick up some games.
It's Renegade Game Studios who makes it.
Who else? What else has Renegade done? I know
Snow Tales and Apotheca.
I feel like they just put a game on Kickstarter that I backed.
They do Kickstarters.
Okay. My number 9 is a game I didn't expect to like because of theme alone, and I didn't really know. I mean, I watched Rado do a run through for it, and that's why I got it, because of the mechanism sounds solid, but the theme is like I'm gonna be in the same boat. I don't know how to explain this, but it's Guilds of London.
I've heard of it. I haven't played it.
Hardly. I don't know of anyone who actually has played this game, but I've played this game twice, and the first time I was just like, let's see how it is. Essentially, you're a guild in London, and you're trying to control the different areas, but it's not even like, it's not a board, so you're not like an area controlling this. They're tiles with like a name on it, and the reason it is such a solid game based off mechanics alone, with each card has their own abilities, but you can also turn them into gold, be able to buy stuff, buy influence and stuff like that. There is the tiles have unique abilities, so it's like everything. You have hand management, so pretty much everything that I like in a game is in this game. Now, does it hit my table a lot? No, because of theme, and it's just like, it's kind of hard to explain because it's one of those games where it comes with like one player aid for all the cards, so it's like if you're teaching it to new people, here's that, but I am also not experienced enough, so I need it too, and it's just it's just that.
What company makes that game? Do you remember?
Guilds of London. Look it up while I talk about it. I can't remember.
Yeah, I was just
I should probably look that stuff up whenever we do these, but it was just a lot of fun, and you get more members of your guild to go around, and you basically block each other on these tiles. I just looked at the camera and I saw, I was like, who's behind me? Some lurking black choked. Yeah, cut in half. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so you basically block and you try and own these tiles to get the most influence, and then also you can get points by sending. This is where it gets like oddly racist. You send your workers to a plantation, and then like you leave them there, and whoever has the most workers at the plantation gets like like quite a bit of bonus points. But the more workers you have there, the less you're doing in London, and it works really well. But the reason why I didn't expect to like it, who was the
Tasty Minstrel Games?
That's it. That's another reason why I actually didn't expect to like them, because I don't really like Tasty Minstrel Games. Yeah, they're kind of nice. The latest one I played from them was Eminent Domain, and dear God, that game is so bad. But anyway.
No, that's a different discussion.
But yeah, so Guilds of London is really good. Just don't expect the theme to be fun, because it's not. I guess like when you win, you're the mayor of London or something. I don't know. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a blast. But it's good. All right. My number 8 is a game that it comes down to theme again, because it just sounds kind of stupid and you don't really expect it to pan out. It's by the same guy. I can't remember the company, but I know the other game he made. This game's called The Cave.
The Cave. Yeah,
and he made another one called K2. And I guess the designer of K2 actually went and hiked up K2. And I guess he's a speleologist. I don't think he actually is. But you're a speleologist, which is like a cave explorer.
Right.
Cave diver. It tells you the meaning of that word. Not a worker placement. I don't even know what kind of, like how you would, it's tile laying, which is really cool. But here's the reason why I didn't expect to like it, was because of, yes, that's the one. Didn't expect to like it because of theme. It just sounded so blah, and I didn't expect it to work out. But surprisingly enough, like when you're delving inside this game, and the rule book's kind of clunky, but when you're going through this game, and the game comes with a free soundtrack, not like in the box, it's downloadable. It's this cave ambiance, and it really gets you into it, and you really feel like you're going to, because you're trying to get points. You can get points for, going down, like the deepest down. So
spelunking down.
You can get points for that. You can get points for taking pictures, taking all the most pictures of the cave. Get points for, they have they're called squeezes. So basically, if a tile has if you move through, it's basically like there's level 1, 2, and 3, and you have so many actions. So to get through a level 1, you have to spend an additional action to get through it, and stuff like that. So you get points for all this, and oh my God, just the randomness of the cave is so much fun. The last time I played, it was me, Kat, and John every time, because you don't get to see the cave, you lay it as you go, just kept getting 3 and 3. So it was just thematically, he was like, keep going down this narrow, and I'm like, that'd freak me out.
Right.
Because I'm like, I don't think I have claustrophobia, but man, I'd be like, it's not ending, what if I get stuck? Oh, and then the funniest part was at the end, he got to a dead end, and so he had to make his way all the way back, and oh, it was so funny. And it is a little bit of resource management. You have to eat every day, so if you run out of food and you didn't make it back to camp, it takes you your whole turn just to move 1 tile. And so it's just like you have to manage that.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant game.
I've never heard of that one.
No, I mean, I don't know anyone who has. I had John play it, and he was actually very surprised at how much he liked it as well. Because it doesn't say, hey, you want to play a game about cave exploring? Oh, did we find it? No, we just go in the cave. That's it.
Yeah.
So that's my number 8.
All right, my number 8 is another family weight game, but a little longer. It's not a small game.
It's not good.
No. New York 1901.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever played that one?
Nope.
It's actually pretty fun. It's a lot of people compare it to the weight of Ticket to Ride. I personally would say it's one little minute step above Ticket to Ride.
Okay.
Because you have to deal with spatial elements too. Because when you set up, you have initially start in your color like city block area, and then you're purchasing buildings, and the buildings are all shaped differently, so you have to try to fit as much into your deals as you can.
Okay.
And then you're earning more and more points depending on this. And at the end game scoring deal is like if you have the most properties owned on this boulevard or this road, you get more points and stuff like that. So it's a blue-orange games.
Are you building skyscrapers?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. It's during that boom in New York.
Oh, okay.
New York when the skyscraper deal was coming. So
okay.
So you're earning your resources to be able to build these bigger towers. You have to try to get them to fit in there where they're touching a road.
Okay.
Because the roads are what scores. So like if whoever has the most roads on what's a road in New York, whatever.
I don't.
But anyway, Broadway or whatever. And those are how you score. But it's different in Ticket to Ride because Ticket to Ride you just kind of they already have the routes built for
right,
you.
Right.
Just places
trying to go by it.
This one you start out in your area, and that doesn't mean you have to build right there. You can build anywhere you want.
Okay.
But that's just where you start, and then you are just trying to fit them in there and make them fit Tetris style.
Okay.
And stuff, and then you can trash old buildings and put bigger ones on and stuff like that. And it's fun. It's they're cardboard right now. There's people that have used their 3D printers to print off 3D.
That'd be cool.
Skyscrapers that look identical to what they are on the deal. So that was pretty neat.
That'd be really cool.
But it was really cool. I mean, I have Ticket to Ride. My family plays Ticket to Ride, but this one is different.
Right.
You can only play Ticket to Ride so many times.
That's true. You can play all the 50 different versions.
Right.
Now, why didn't you expect to like this one?
Because it was
sounds
building
stupid.
skyscrapers in New York. I don't know. It's just automatically, generally, when people are like, "This game's like Ticket to Ride," I'm like,
"Oh,
I already have Ticket to Ride."
Yeah.
And I don't really. If it's so much like that, why get another one that fits the same?
That's true.
But then after I watched a review or two on it, it looked like it had a little bit more different thinking.
Okay.
Different thinking with it, and it made it more of a game that interested me, and it's good for the girls and stuff too. I mean, it's just a good game. You can try it because it's
sweet. It does sound. Actually, I think I would like.
It's a different theme too. That's the thing. It's
right. It's not trains. That sounds more interesting than building a train.
Right.
Because you're not building railroads. You're just connecting train cars. I guess. Ticket to Ride.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's really cool. It's worth it.
Sweet. Number 7.
My number 7 now?
I think so, yeah.
My number 7 is an older game.
Okay.
Small game. Little box.
Okay.
Plastic cards.
Plastic cards?
Plastic cards.
Yeah, I'm not
Most people are already going to know what it is.
I have no idea.
Have you ever played Gloom?
Yeah, okay, yes. Oh, no, I haven't played Gloom. I've seen Gloom. Is it really that old?
It was out before kind of when I was first starting getting into it. So,
so like
the very first one. I mean, they're still coming out with weird. I saw it at Changing Hands Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah.
They have a space one now. It's
like, do they really?
It's like Space Gloom.
Oh my God!
Everyone's just depressed. Yeah, but so anyway, if you don't know what gloom is you get assigned a family, and you have a few members of the family, and you are trying to make them as miserable as you can before you kill them off. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. So they're clear plastic cards, and they're meant to go on top of each other, and they have values in the corners. And I think the black numbers are negatives, white numbers are positives. Then you can play, when it's your turn, you can play a card on somebody else's family member to make them happier. And then you're trying to make yours miserable. Now, if you just played it that way, the game's boring. What makes this game, and you have to play it this way, is you have to talk. You have to create the story as you play the card. You know, like this card is, you know, he got dissed at a girl dissed him or something.
Dissed him, man. You're really showing your age.
I can't think of one right now, but there.
I can think of a lot. I can think of a lot.
But there's different things like he dropped his ice cream cone on the deal or whatever. So you're like, oh, Tommy over here dropped his ice cream, you know, was walking down here, and you build the story. So if this guy had this happen, you know, well, while he was going to his mother's funeral, he dropped his ice cream cone and
on his mother's corpse.
Yeah, I mean, you can be as sadistic as you want on this, but that's the funny part, is telling the story.
That's not funny.
And my girls love it, because they love just playing something and coming up with the stories.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of remembers the stories of these characters, and then you can just automatically kill a character. There's untimely death cards, and they'll just wipe them out. And then when they die, you put them over to the side, and that's how many points they're worth. You know, and there's several expansions you can throw in with houses. I think
so. I remember Tabletop played.
Yes.
And I watched that, and then I watched another one called Once Upon a Time. And I essentially, they were both storytelling games, and I essentially went with Once Upon a Time because of the fantasy, which, I mean, the problem with both those games is it's either make it or break it depending on the group you're with.
Right.
Like, you're going to get people who can't tell a story, so they're just going to be like, all right, your turn.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, why is he sad? He's sad. Your turn.
And that goes into what we were talking about in the last video a little bit, was you have to go into the game and say, you know, before, when you're making the choice, okay, are we going to play this game? Or sure, but you have to talk.
Yeah, you have to make
be
your
creative.
Story. Yeah,
you know, it's.
But then, like, there's almost no better experience if you have a solid group who does something like that.
and that's.
I feel like if I did a run through for that, I would just take it too far and I'd get banned.
Well, and you learn, if you play it with your middle school girls, you learn that they know things that you don't that you don't expect them to know.
Who are you talking to?
It's like they're like really knowing all these like weird, like sadistic ways. I'm like, holy smokes!
You're like,
what? It's like my kids are ruined.
That's awesome. So why didn't you expect to like it?
Because the art's horrible.
It's sad.
The art's horrible, and
it made you want to kill yourself.
And it just didn't look, you know, like you just look at it, and I mean, the plastic cards are cool, but you look at it, and if you really stare at the art is horrible in that game.
Is it?
You know, I played it a bunch before I owned it.
Okay.
I played it with a group, like, I think it was 10 years ago I was playing it.
Wow.
And it didn't look very cool back then, but then you played it, and you just it's hilarious.
Right,
you know,
right.
So you get a lot of fun in that little box. You know, and
I may have to pick it up.
Yeah, and I have it and the Unwelcome Guests expansion. I don't have all of it because that's really.
Did they add like a bunch of expansions?
Well, there's the Unwelcome Guests.
Not about a re-theme, but like.
Yeah, no, they have Unwelcome Guests. They have, oh my goodness, yeah. I think there's 3 or 4 expansions just for the base game, and then they have a Cthulhu theme one and a spaceship theme.
Like I love Cthulhu, but I don't think I would like that game with Cthulhu because. At that point, it's like you don't have to talk because it's Cthulhu.
Right.
Everything's miserable.
Yeah.
But why? It's Cthulhu.
Well, the rules may change with those
That's
things
true.
too. I don't know. I just know that one of them you actually have a haunted house or a house that stuff brings into. You know, I think that might be the Unwelcome Guests that I have.
Okay.
But it's a blast.
It does sound like.
Play it with the right group.
All right. So my number 7 is
7.
Yeah, we're on 7. I'm like,
sorry.
I'm like what? No, yeah. So
don't beat me up.
Did you just say your number 6?
A 7.
Okay.
No.
So my number 7 is a living card game that I didn't expect to like because it's a living card game.
Netrunner.
No.
Netrunner.
No, it's not. I did like Netrunner, but I mean, I didn't really expect anything of that. But this was a game that John got me into, and I've been debating getting it all, but it's Arkham Horror, the living card game. I don't like living card games, and I don't like deck builders. But this one is very minute deck building, which I can, and it's not, like, the game comes with, like, hey, if you're playing this character, here's this deck of cards, which is perfectly fine. I like games, I mean, deck building is okay if you have that option, but a lot of times it's like, you don't have that option, or if the pre-built ones suck. So, it's like if I want to do anything, I have to build my own deck, and it's fucking awful. But anyway, so this one is so grounded in theme, and I didn't know how I was going to feel about an Arkham Horror card game, because it's a card game, and I've only played the board game, and obviously Eldritch Horror and stuff like that, and I love them. So that's what got me first into it. And then John was like, hey, I have a deck that I already built, and I trusted him, so I was like, okay, this game is so good. Have you played them yet?
I have everything up to the last pack of this cycle.
They're so good. Like, the reason why it's so good is because, like, the campaigns actually have decisions that you make, and that affects your character. So now they start actually coming in to the game, with more sanity. It's like automatically, yeah, he's mentally unstable. My guy, I'm playing Roland, and John ended up changing his character because the trumpet player, he sucks. But Roland was really awesome, and now, based on the decisions we made, he's coming in almost mentally unstable. He's almost unplayable, but at that point it's still cool because I know what decisions we made. And then you keep pumping out, and I know it's a fantasy flight, just cash grab. Yeah. Like, they're just going to keep pumping them out just to make more money instead of just doing a big box. But they're not that expensive, so you can just keep getting them.
I'll tell you what my plan is with it, because I've only played the core set.
Okay, and I've only played, I think, 2.
Right, so I have the core set, and then they had the big box that came out right after the core set.
Yeah,
the Dunwich Legacy, and then there's 6 packs after that to finish the Dunwich Legacy.
And they're about to do another big box.
I bought the 6th, and I'm not buying any more until I do those.
Until you catch them all.
Right, because unlike Netrunner, it's not really competitive, so I do it and I go through and do the story, and then I'll get the next big box of sets. It's not worth just going out and keep buying it if you're not keeping
up, right?
I'm just going to keep that. Yeah. I wanted to finish the story.
You're kind of doing with that what I'm doing with my video games. So I have like 10 video games that I haven't beaten, and half of them I started, half of them I just have. I put them in a stack in the order of what I want to beat them, and I'm like, I will not play another game until I beat this one.
Yep.
And you pretty much just set yourself up. So, like, I want to play it all, but I mean, John says there's enough replayability after if you already beat one, because there are choices, and I'm hoping that later on the choices actually are a little bit more expansive, so you do have that replayability. I don't think in the base game there's enough, but I don't know. I think it's really cool. It works very well. It's super hard, and John raves about it, and I think it's cool. The token, the difficulty is actually based on the tokens that you put in the bag. You can customize it. I think that's a cool, interesting way to do randomness. It's not just a die and look at a chart. It's not just a card you draw. So it's a different way of doing it. But living card game, I stay away from them because they're just, hey, you're poor now, because they keep pumping them out. So, but I don't own it. So, and I think that's why I actually enjoy it, because I'm not spending the money on it.
Yeah.
But that's my number 7. So, number 6. I didn't think of this. I didn't think we'd be doing 2 games in a row. But oh well. So, my number 6 is this is actually probably one of the only family games I have. It'd be my number 1 because I think it is the only one I have, and it's Bullfrogs. Have you ever played? Oh my god.
I've heard John talk about it.
It's so like it's about bullfrogs. It's an area control card game. So the cards you play are lily pads, and you have your frogs that you put on the lily pad trying to area control. But you can only place so many, so you want to strategically place them to where you have the control, so you can get the point on the card, and then your frogs hop off. So you want to be able to chain react them. So if you can hop them off, then those cards will go off, and you want to hop them onto the log, which is worth points at the end. And oh my, it's so smart. Like it's a very quick. It's a competitive game that Kat really likes. Like she really enjoys it.
Is it How many players does that play?
It can go up to 4, 5.
I'll have to look at it.
5 maybe. And obviously, you can probably tell why I didn't think I was gonna like it, because that theme is dumb as hell.
Right.
Like even the box art looks like a coloring book. It's like you would not expect there to be any game whatsoever in this, but there is, and it works. It's so smart, and it's a little bit of hand management, not too much, but yep, that's it. And so you just sit there and so you're like, okay, well, how can I effectively play this card to put my people on it to where he won't jump on and take it from me? And it was the very first game I played against John. So we met at work, he invited me to come to game night, and he had it with him. And he might have held back, because that's what he says. I just think he just says that when he loses. He's like, yeah, I was holding back, man. I really did. Dude, I just kicked your ass. I'm smarter than you. It's fine. But no, I ended up winning that game, and then we ended up winning games. I ended up winning a lot of games that night, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe he does hold back. I suck. But it's a blast. I really like it. I think your kids would like it too. Yeah. Maybe not. You don't kill the frogs.
Yeah, so they're pretty evil, those kids. All right, my number 6 is a game I never in a million years thought I would like, but my wife is a pharmacist and she loves chemistry. So do you have a guess of what?
Oh, I thought that was the game. Is it a
Dice Hate Me Games?
What?
Dice Hate Me Games is the company.
Oh, then I have no idea. I have no idea.
It's Compounded. Have you ever heard of that one?
No.
All right.
How old are you guys?
Well, this is actually just came out a couple years ago.
Like 15 years ago.
This is a game where you are, there's cards that are set out here that are different chemical compounds.
Wait a minute, I think I know what you're talking about.
And then there's little gems that go on there.
Is there like no art whatsoever?
Well, no, right. Well, except for the little, like the crystal looking deals.
Is this where you have to like?
But the scoring table is a periodic table.
Okay. I'm not thinking of the same thing then.
But what you're doing is there's these rows of these different chemicals, and you have these little test tubes on a player board in front of you, and you reach into a bag and you're pulling out these little gems, crystals and gems and stuff, and some of them are like carbon, or some of them are hydrogen or whatever.
I feel like there was a game that just came out that was this bit. It's like you're doing like alchemy.
Yeah. It's something similar.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
This one was the one that really got her because she's into chemistry big time. So you're pulling these little crystals out of a bag, you put them on your little workbench, is what they call it, and then you look out there and then you try to complete a chemical compound, then you get it scored points. Okay. And what's cool about it, I guess, is the scoring. your scoring table is the actual periodic table. So like atomic number 1 is 1 victory point, 2, and you just kind of
keep going.
That's your scoring deal.
Do you do all however many are on the periodic table? I don't know how many.
I think the game usually ends at about 50 points, which is
50
about half the chart.
50 chemicals.
No, but and there's like and then it has kind of, it reminds me of the what's that one game, the fireman game? Fire.
Oh, God, Firepoint? No,
Flashpoint.
Flashpoint. Okay.
Yeah, it has kind of like that because you can have lab fires. So some of them have combustible elements.
Okay.
And if you draw these cards that have the chemical combustibles and they blow up, then they blow up and spread fire to other things.
Oh, geez.
Too. So, and they have a few expansions for them. There's Chemical Chaos, I think, was one of them. They even have a methamphetamine.
I was about to make a joke about that. That's so funny.
It's an expansion that you can
buy. Actually learn how to make meth. Not that I'm interested in making it.
It's
like legitimate.
I don't think it's legitimate. But
the company got like arrested or like shut down.
They have team cards. There's a variation where they're bigger. That's like 2 things together, and you can work with somebody else and try to complete the big thing and stuff and get victory points. It sounds dry as hell.
Oh yeah.
And the art sucks as far as it's just very
I couldn't
basic.
imagine like bringing that to a game night. Like, guess what? Maybe do some chemistry.
But
get out.
It is. It's good, and my wife loves it, which makes it even better because.
Now, has she played Alchemist?
No.
No?
No. She has not. That one, that's the one with the app, right?
Yeah. Man, it's so good.
I don't even know if I want to do that.
CG.
I've heard it's so
fucking
brain
good.
burning.
Yeah. Okay, if you can play Compounded, then there's no way
Compounded I consider a light game.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, because all you're doing is pulling a bag, putting things on the colors of the compounds and storing it. I mean, it's really simple. There's not much.
I don't think alchemy is that brain burning. Yeah. I think it's simple deduction. I got a green positive. That means this can't possibly be a negative green. Yeah. It's like, I don't know how everyone's like.
Well, and I think
maybe I'm
having one chemistry game in my collection. That'll be probably this one, because actually this is the one game in my collection that my wife actually purchased herself.
Really?
Yeah. So it's actually.
Yeah, I don't have any games that Kat. I have games that Kat has bought for me.
Right.
But yeah, it really sucks. Actually, funny enough, on the way down, we were talking about. I was telling her my list, and I was really upset because there are games. It's very rare where she will, look at my list or look at my shelf of games we haven't played or games that obviously we have, and very rare that she'll actually suggest, oh, I really want to play that one right now. And the one time she did, or one of the times she did, out of nowhere, she's like, I really want to play Seasons, and I'm like, hell yeah, and then the game sucked.
I like that. That's one of my wife's favorite games too. Yeah.
And it's like I wish she would just look at and be like, I want to play this right now, but she never does.
Yeah.
She hates me. All right.
So now I'm going to 5.
Yeah, I guess. Yep, number 5.
All right, this is the one I think could be a crossover. This is the only one. I played it once.
I was about to say, why did you hate Compounded? Or not expect, but it's because it's dry.
Yeah. This game. If somebody's explaining the game to you, it may sound like it's cool, but then you look at the box art, you look at the stuff, everything, and then they say, oh, it's a first-person shooter in a board game, and adrenaline. It's chaos. Yes, adrenaline.
It's not on my list.
But I'd seen it a lot. That
box art does look stupid.
Well, that one with the smiley face, that I gravitate. You look at the box, and it's that yellow thing with the smiley face and all that. But then John just kept talking about it so much.
He's like,
I went over to Fletcher's house one day and we played it. And I was like, well, this is pretty damn cool. And I would own it. I don't own it. I would, but at least two people in that group.
John and I.
Well, and I think Fletcher has it. No, Fletcher doesn't.
No, John has it and I do.
So you guys, yeah. So I was like, that's why I didn't buy it, because that's one I would never play with my family.
Right.
But it was a blast.
Yeah, because you hear all the time, this is a great first-person shooter board game. It's like, no, it's not. How about we actually play a first-person shooter game?
And and it's just, and everybody's like, you're just shooting everybody and all this stuff. And I'm like, I've played Wiz War. I've done that before. Wiz
War's so good.
And stuff, but then this is really neat.
It is the best adaptation, and it does feel like a first-person shooter, and it does something smart. Actually, we got a new guy who just joined our group, Derek. I don't know if you've met him yet.
I've seen his posts.
But he brought up a good point. But it's something. So that game, basically, it does something brilliant. You don't target one person. Because when you die, you immediately respawn, still with all your shit and all that, but you're worth less points. So now it's like, oh, he hasn't died yet, so now you're the target. And then as you die, you're worth like 1 point, so no one's going to kill you.
Right.
But that is a double-edged sword. Derek brought this up. He's like, I felt like it slowed at the end. He's like, towards maybe like the last 30 minutes, it kind of dies off. And I agree, because at that point, no one's worth a lot of points. So it's like, I guess I'll attack you. Because the first game is just a mash, and you're just all out. You're using these cool. Every weapon is unique. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
It didn't make my list because, actually, probably the biggest reason is because I don't think I played it whenever I made this list. Excuse me, I'm dying. And the second, I probably would have expected to like it because, hey, a first-person shooter game, and I can't really think of one that, a board game that has mentioned it does that and has done it poorly. I know they're out there, but a lot of them recently, like Project Elite, did that, and that one raved. It's unfortunate because you can't find it because it came off Kickstarter and the guy quit making games because he got so much hate from his backers. And it's like, fuckers, do you understand that you're attacking the person who's providing your service? What if he's just like, here's your money back, you're not getting it. Right. Or, I'm not giving you your money back, I'm leaving. Right. Like, it could have easily gone south. But that's a good one. That's a really good one. That was your number 5?
Yes.
My number 5 is a game I didn't expect to like because I absolutely despise chess. and it's Onitama. Onitama is a brilliant. It blows chess out of the water. I can't stand chess. That may have something to do with one of my friends I've never been able to beat, so I hate it now because I can't beat him. And there was one time I would have beat him, but I got confused on like a rule, and I didn't ask him. I don't know why, because I was like, oh, it's chess. I'm stupid if I ask. So I basically did a move and I took it back, and then at the end, after he beat me, he's like, why didn't you do that? I'm like, I thought I couldn't for some anyway. Onitama basically takes chess and makes it so much, so unique and so much variety, because I've mentioned this before in top 10 run-through. I've actually mentioned this game a lot.
Yes.
And basically, you have your 5 pieces. I think it's 5 pieces. Yeah, 2 pawns and then your king. There's 2 ways to win. You can either kill the person's king, or you can put your king on his throne. Well, that'd be fine, or that'd be boring in and of itself, except that you have these cards that allow you, that each pawn can do, and they're like different patterns or movements that they can do. So you start with 2, he starts with 2, and then there's 1 in the middle. So not only are you thinking of what you can do, because whenever you use one, you take the card in the middle, you give up the one you just used. So now you're giving cards that you can use to your opponent. So you really have to think about, okay, not only what can I do to win, what am I giving him to do, and how can he move, so how am I, it's just, like, and the game lasts 15 minutes, like, because it's really quick. I have played a game that probably lasted 30 to 45 because we were so intent on, like, we were so into it. And it's against my friend who I can't beat at chess, but he can't beat me at this. And I'm like, I'm in my element.
Yeah, there you go.
He beat me once. So I guess he is better at this game than I am at chess against him. But that 30-minute match, like, I held on to 1 card. That's the thing. Like, you can probably, there are multiple times where you're looking at a card, you're like, I should use that right now. But I really don't want him to have it, because then I know what it's like. So I held on to it the entire, basically using one ability after another, using his cards against him, moving, and then I basically, with the card I held the entire game, allows you, it's called Crab, and it allows you to move 1 square up, or hop a square, you basically move 2 to the left or right. And so all I did was move my king, I finally got to the edge and hopped over and won. So good, so good.
I haven't played that one yet. I need to get it.
It's awesome. I mean, I have the expansion too, so I really want to play the expansion. And I think there's like 32 cards now. I think the base game came with 16, and the expansion came with 16. So, I mean, expansion kind of did, so it was essentially 8, but 1 was like monkey, and then chicken, and they were just like, oh, you can go down diagonally and up diagonally, and then the other one was just the opposite way.
Gotcha.
But chances of you getting both of those. But even then, every game's different, and I really expected to hate it because I hate chess, but I really like this game. So that's my number 5. All right, what are we on, 4?
Good.
Yeah, we are zooming on through. So this game, kind of like how you mentioned with Concordia and box art for adrenaline. Even though I think box art for adrenaline is colorful.
It's not bad.
It looks like this is the first-person shooter game.
Right.
Why is the emoji killing us? No, this art is god awful. I don't know if it's thematic to the era or what, but it was actually the first game that a fan, I don't even know if he still watches my videos, but at the time he did. He found me on Twitter, and he actually sent me this game, and it's Orleans. He's like, have you ever played it? What's so funny about it?
Well, no, I'm saying, because you talked me into buying it, and I haven't played it yet.
Oh, wow.
I still have mine. It's unpunished, sitting on my shelf.
Good. It is so good. So, I mean, obviously, the box art is so stupid.
Right. It's another TMG game.
Huh?
It's TMG.
Is it? It may be.
I think it is. I'm pretty
I
positive.
think you're right.
Your TMG
but
fan.
we were, so he sent it to me, and and so I got it, and he's like, it's about medieval France, and I'm like, oh wow, that sounds awful. But I'm still trying to expand my Eurogame collection, and at this point, I don't know how many I've actually played, but it is TMG. But it'd probably be my number 1, but I don't think I could come up with 10 at the moment. But yeah, it is a solid Eurogame, and the theme is there for what it's worth. But my favorite thing about this game is that there's not like one surefire way to win. Like, there's a lot of games out there where it's like you can do this. You'll lose, but you can. This is the strategy. I mean, I could probably name my go-to strategy, but there's a plethora of options and ways to get points. The expansion that I just got, the co-op version, is fun, and it is radically different from what you would think a co-op version would be. You're actually defending France from invaders. Euro-y, like you never actually get attacked, but you're just prepping. It is hard, like it is really hard. You have to be absolutely sure of your actions, but I don't think you can do it with two. Like I think you have to have people because it's just anyway. So that adds more, and then they're added solo variants that I haven't done yet, but it's a solid Euro game. It basically shot up to my top 10 because of how good it is. I'm always willing to play it.
I wish I would have gotten the deluxe version.
I think I don't know if I do.
Has all the metal coins.
No, I don't have that. No.
All the wood stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's unnecessary.
I know, but
just aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, drastic difference from how boring it looked and how much I kind of didn't want to play it, but then how much I really loved it.
All right.
It's my number 5.
All right.
No, 5, right? Orleans?
Yeah.
Round 5?
Yep, now I'm getting ready to do 4. Oh, yeah, you need to.
Oh, sorry, 4. 4 was
You
Orleans.
did 4.
Yeah.
Okay, my 4 is another little box game.
Okay.
Has many versions. It is Love Letter.
Yeah, man.
And I've played many of the versions.
Okay.
But the only one that anybody will ever want to play with me is the original. With the princess, the king, the prince, all that stuff, which is fine. We've played this game so much, I'm on my 2nd copy.
Oh, wow.
Because even sleeved, I mean,
it tore it up.
I mean, we played so many, because we sit down and we probably play it 15, 20 times at a time. I mean, and I went out, because it comes with little cubes for when you win a hand, there's like hearts or affection or whatever.
Aww.
So I went and bought little wooden hearts that I have in there and stuff too. But it's such an easy, stupidly simple game. You know how nobody came up with it before that. But you're just trying to be the person with the last card in your hand.
That's it?
That's it. I mean, like certain cards will. One card, like the number 1, there's more of the guards. There's more guards in the deck than anything. It's 16 cards.
Uno.
Well, it's 16 cards.
Aww.
It's 16 cards, and you put them down. You shuffle them up, take one card out face down, so you don't know what roll is out.
Okay.
There's like, of the 16 cards, I think there's like, this is probably not even add up to 16, but I think there's like 5 or 6 guards. There's a couple barons, a couple priests, king, countess, princess,
Jester,
bishop maybe. Anyway, you have a little card that says how many of those are. So when you play a guard, that one lets you guess. And so like I could be like, you're the king, and if you're the king, you have to discard. You're out.
Oh shit! Really?
You know, so I mean, it's a guessing with the guards.
Okay.
A guard can't guess guard.
Okay.
They can guess anything else. And then there's one that's like, okay, let me see your card. So then only those 2 people see. So now you know what they have.
Okay.
The king will let you trade cards.
Okay.
The countess doesn't do anything. The princess is the highest number card. If you're forced to discard the princess, you're automatically out. The game, the round is done. There's one that says, okay, let's compare hands. Whoever has the highest number is still in. The other one's out. You know, you're just trying to be the last person in.
Okay.
And you can get little bits of knowledge because if you have the countess or the princess, and you get the prince or the king, you have to discard those.
Okay.
So that gives you a hint. Like if somebody plays a king and they discard the countess, you know, it's so simple. 16 cards. Each game takes 3 minutes to go around, and you play until somebody wins, depending on player count. If you play with 4, I think you have to get 3. Win 3 hands, and then that means you win the game. And then you just go through and it's super simple but super fun. Just the guessing element. They've taken it all different directions. Hobbit, Batman, and Adventure Time, and
Adventure Time.
You know, just anything. And I've played the Hobbit one, the Batman one, and all that stuff. But I just don't
like the original.
And I want to buy the premium edition.
Yeah,
they have a premium edition. They have their tarot-sized cards. That comes with the sleeves in it, and then it adds different people for the kind of like what Citadels did. They added different people for the same numbers.
Okay.
So you can kind of get more difference.
Yeah.
You can take the 5 princes out and put the 5 whatever the new people are or whatever.
No, why didn't you expect to like it?
Because it's love letter. I mean, do I look like you know,
it's true.
You look at the cover and it's like you think love letter. It's like, well, that sounds like kind of
some
like
sappy.
Yeah, sappy kind
game.
of crap, you know.
Yeah.
And then you say, okay, it's 16 cards. And I hate resistance and stuff like that. So I was like, is this going to be another one of those? And then you sit there and you play. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you're sitting there for 2 hours and you played 15 games. And I'm just like,
you have to buy another one.
You know.
All right.
It's really good.
Yeah, that's one that I've been thinking about picking up. How does it work with 2?
It's fine.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's better
with more.
It only plays 4.
Okay.
If you get the premium edition, I think it goes up to 6, I want to say. I think they jump it up to 6 people. Or maybe even 8. I can't remember. I'd have to look so it adds all those extra deals, and it's just a blast. It's just one of those super fun,
it's not expensive
games.
either, I don't think.
The premium is only like $20.
Yeah.
And this one's only like, I think you can get it online for $6 or $7.
Yeah.
You know?
It seems like it was ended up being one of those games that actually kind of like went away though, because for a while it was like this is the best fucking game that's ever been made, and then it's just like,
well, I think everybody has a dang copy of it.
Probably.
I mean, it's so cheap, and I know, it just everybody does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think do you?
I don't have a copy of it, but I've been thinking about it.
But anyway, so Love Letter was my number 4.
All right.
I'm gonna go 3.
Number 3.
3 is one that the theme and the box art and everything just didn't seem like it was something that I would be into. But it's called Istanbul.
I've seen it.
It's got a unique kind of, you're like a merchant, and you have a stack of discs. And what's really cool about it is you lay out all these tiles that are different locations, and you're trying to be the person that has these little gems, these little rubies or whatever. But you have a stack of little wooden discs, and as you move, you have to leave one behind.
Oh man, call it.
And then you can't go any further, so you have to go back and pick them up to move someplace else. So it limits your movement. You can't just go like, I'm gonna move over here, you know. And then there's that one space you can go to that pulls everybody back to you.
Okay.
And you do different stuff. And then there's these taller wooden deals that I can't remember what they're called in the game. But if you happen to land on them, you either have to pay them or you go to jail.
Okay.
And stuff.
Assuming guards or whatever.
Yeah, guard. And there's 2 different ones. Or if you land on a place where there's another character's person, then you have to pay them or something. You know, it's. I only play. I've played it 2-player most of the time.
Okay.
And I think it would be a lot more interactive with 3 or 4.
Right.
But they have expansions. There's like a chocolate or coffee. I can't remember which one it is, but then it adds just new tiles and stuff.
What's the point of the game?
You're just trying to get however many of the red rubies.
Oh, the rubies.
At the end, that's the end condition.
Okay.
So you're building. It's almost, I wouldn't want to say engine building. It's a resource deal because you have to get these resources in order to do this, and then enough of those resources to be able to do this. And you have a little wheelbarrow thing in front of you, so you're only maxed to hold like maybe 3 of each of these different deals, but then you can go to this one place and spend a certain amount of money to get an extra little thing, and it'll slide down into your deal and let you get 4 of each thing. And then if you can buy up to 3 of those to give you where you can get up to 7.
And that's how you.
Yeah, and there's some resources rarer than others, so you have to go to this one place to trade these resources to get maybe 1 or 2 of those. And stuff, and it's a unique one. You know, it may be a lot like other games. I just haven't played those games. If it is, and it just didn't look very awesome. People have the guy I play it with most of the time is like, hey, let's play Istanbul. And then he had it set up on the table one day. I went over there.
So we're playing.
I was like, okay, we'll play it.
Yeah,
it was really awesome.
Yeah.
And now my wife likes it and stuff like that. So it's a really good one.
All right. Yeah. See, this is a nicer top 10, unlike the one that we did earlier, because now there's a lot of the games that you mentioned that I want to try out. I think there's been two of mine that Bullfrogs in the Cave that you've looked at.
Yep. Well, and every one on my list I own except for
good. You can let me borrow all
except for
10 of them.
Adrenaline. That's the only one.
There's no need. You can just give them all to me tonight. Anyway, so my number 3 is only on this list because I hate the company. I hate what I. There are 2 games from them that I've played. Or I've played 4. So one of them is Raptor. That's not this one. That's the other one that I like. Matago. I hate Comet and I hate Cyclades. Well, I don't hate Cyclades.
It was a nice list until you brought up Comet.
Comet is, like I said, I have mentioned I would play Comet again, but I think it could have been a mindset. I tried this too. That was the very first, and I did a review on it. This is way when I first started my channel because I wasn't going to do reviews. So I put it up and I immediately deleted it because some guy was like, "You need to play with 4." I'm like, "All right, fine." So I took it off.
The more the better with it. For sure.
I played it with 4, and it was just we didn't like it. No one liked it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's not my game. And then Cyclades, I really hate the fact that you can be doing better than everyone, but because of how the turn order plays out, they can just react. They can do something, you can't react to it. Anyway, my number 3 is Inish. So if I didn't take forever to actually say that, Inish is fantastic. It made, I think it was number 2. It was either 2 or 3 on my top 10 games of 2016.
I own it, never played it yet.
It's so good. I can see why some people wouldn't like it. Box art would be one that it's like, what the hell is that? I personally love the art. Obviously, art's subjective. Yeah. And people could be like, Concordia is the best art in the world. Yeah. or whatever. But I really like the art. The box art is a little off-putting, I will say, but the card art is fantastic. And the game works so well. So you're sitting there as these different clans, and it's all hand management, which I love. Your actions are the cards that you have in the draft. And the board is modular in a sense that each place kind of has its expansions, or its abilities, and each tile has like a season card that is also a special ability if you control that season, or that tile. And essentially, it does something that I've never seen before. It basically brings kind of like it does bring kind of a stalemate, which can bog the game down, but I've always thought it was a blast, is that there are 3 ways you can win, you have to fulfill 2 of them. And I want to bring this to the table because it's been a little bit, but one of the ways was you have to be chieftain, which means you have more people on a area than everyone else. You have to be chieftain of more than 6 clan members. Now that doesn't have to be in the same spot. You can have 2 people in each thing and on 6 tiles, and everyone has 1 there, and you are over 6. You have to have at least your people you have to be chieftain or own places with a sanctuary. And the third one, I'm actually drawing a blank on at the moment. But basically what you have to do is whenever you are about to win, all you can do on your turn is grab basically like a claim token and say, I'm about to win. And that's all you can do. So now it turns into everyone screwing you over to stop you from winning. That's why it's a stalemate, because everyone's and like you're like, oh my god, if you don't attack them, they will win this turn. Yep. But here's where you have to play smart. And I know people can say this with Cyclades, so don't even start. Like, because I've just had 2 bad games with Cyclades. I've lost both ways. Even though okay, good. Oh, okay. It was just Comet that
Comet's one of my favorites.
Shit yourself over. Anyway, but so with Inish is you have to know when to claim, when to make that claim. Whenever I played with Robert and John, I sat there, and no, you weren't there, but I think there was a 4th player. But I basically sat there, but whenever I made the claim, I knew they couldn't do anything to stop me. But the run-through, we had a really good run-through for that game, was no one's ever out. Like, everyone had a chance to actually win, and we all somehow stopped. And Kat, my girlfriend, who is not really that keen on these type of games, somehow she was just moving people, and she was about to win, and I was so, if you watch the video, I'm so mad, because I'm like, I can't do anything, it's over. And you can see my friend Luke, he's like, let it go around, and I'm like, it's over. And then he just had a epic tail card, which are the red cards. They're very scenario specific, but it was awesome because she was about to win, and all he did was play a card that he's like, remove a clan member. So all he did was move one of her people out, and it stopped her. I ended up winning the game. It's fucking great. I love it, but the reason why it's so high on this list is by how much I love it and how much I hate this company's other games. Now it's kind of starting to balance out, obviously, because I really like Inish and I really like Raptor. the Comet and Sickly. So at the time, it was more games I hated from them than... Oh, yeah, I guess Captain Sonar, they did Madigo. So they're starting to make better games. Comet and Sicklies must have been like their... Oh, fuck, we have some shitty ideas. Let's get those out of the way.
I have a Madigo game on mine.
Oh, do you?
Still.
Well, go. It's...
no, it's your turn.
Oh, I still have to do 2?
Yeah.
All right. So my number 2 and number 1 may actually really shock you. My number 1.
I knew I was gonna like that. So.
My number 2 is actually a deck builder.
I can take a guess.
Go.
Tyrants of the Underdark.
It is. It is Tyrants of the Underdark because the deck building is so minute. Side note. So deck building board games I like a little bit better than constructing a deck and coming to play because at least I have options to that. I mean, this one I have a plethora of options, and then I think I make a really good deck, show up, and it turns into shit, and then I feel stupid. That one I'm just like
So you like deck building better than deck constructing?
Yes. And I kind of interchange them. I kind of just lump them all together because I don't really like either. But Tyrants did something different that every game could easily fix. In all reality, they just made the deck building thematic. So all they said in the rule book was whenever you hire, and it's D&D and it's about the Underdark, which is awesome. All they did was say whenever you hire like an elf or not an elf or an Underdark person, it says like the reason why they go to the discard pile and whenever they come back into your hand is them coming back from their mission. None of that is mechanics-wise. That's just simple deck building. You buy the card for some reason. You can't have it since you purchase it. But they said, oh, he just got back. Or you hired him from a distant area and he just got to where your realm is. Simple fix.
Yep.
And I had no problem with that after. And it's one of those things, I don't know if all deck builders do this, but do you always have to play your whole hand in the deck building game? Generally, you play your whole hand and wipe it?
It doesn't make sense to, because you have to discard what you don't play. You have to discard anyway.
Okay, see, I wasn't sure if there were some deck builders where you only played a few and you only drew up. Anyway,
there may be, but
right. Generally, it's you play your whole hand, and if you have a shitty hand, it's like that's what I got.
Exactly.
Well, so deck building is minute, and but it's a lot more area control. And it's so good. It's so smart area control because you can have assassins, you can sabotage, you can screw with the other person's deck, which is how I won. I built my deck based off of, I'm not going to be getting me a lot of points here because I'm pretty sure John is way better at deck building. So instead, I'm just going to give him 15 insane cultists that are negative points. So, and I think we ended up the final game was I had 72 points and he was at 65, so I would have won anyway. But then he was I was oh yeah, minus your points, and he yep, minus 15, and I'm it's awesome. It is so good.
I haven't played it yet. I was gonna buy it, but I definitely would not be able to play that with my family.
No,
and I knew that John had it.
I have it.
You have it.
I have his copy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so that's why I didn't.
Yeah, I basically immediately, and now they're coming out. They need more factions. I think they have 4.
Had an expansion. I know that came out.
It just came out, and I don't know if it's out yet.
It was online. I saw.
I didn't get it.
It was sold out. It was $11.
Yep. And I need to get it because it just needs more factions, and because you only ever have 2 decks, you don't have all the cards available. So you only ever pick 2 factions, shuffle them together, and then that's where you're available. And it wasn't too overwhelming. A lot of deck builders are here's your cards to choose from, and I'm read all these and think of common. And at that point, it's pretty much deck construction, and I'm I don't want to do that. So number 2, Tyrants of the Underdark. It was almost number 1. It was very much almost number 1.
My number 2 was very cutesy, and I waited a long time before I bought it because I just didn't know if it'd be something I'd want. It got raves. It was a lot of people loved it, and it's Takenoko. And that's
Is that the one with the panda?
The panda.
Okay.
Yes.
See, that one just looks adorable.
Exactly. That's just not me. But the very first time I ever played that game, a friend of mine bought the huge collector's edition that came in the wooden chest, and the panda was this tall.
Came out to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally did.
But anyway, the panda was this tall, and the
really?
And the hexes were this big, and you lay it all out, and it took up the whole dang table, and you're hopping these guys around. It was he paid $200 for this.
Jeez.
I bought the regular version with the tiny little panda. That, you know,
it's like a panda miniature.
Yeah.
Does it come painted?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then you buy the Chibi's expansion. It's the little baby.
Oh.
So anyway, but it's got hex tiles, and you're doing resource management again, and you have your little player board. Every time it's your turn, you have to roll the weather die, and if it's a storm, then you choose to make the panda move someplace and eat a bamboo, and then you get that bamboo if you roll. Gosh, I can't remember right now. I'm drawing a blank. But anyway, whatever the weather is on your deal, it tells you what to do on the weather, and you at that time have farmer cards and panda cards. The panda cards are if you eat that much bamboo, which is just little wooden things you stack up on the deals as they grow. And if you get the right color combination, then you score that card. Okay. The farmer one is you're trying to have like tiles of a certain color laid out the right way and stuff like that. And you wouldn't think, I mean, because it looks kind of like a little cutesy, like you said, you know, but it's really fun. I mean, you have to irrigate certain ones that are far, because the very middle tile is like the pond or the water source. So you have to like use a turn to buy these like little wooden sticks and connect down to that tile so that it'll be irrigated so stuff can start growing. Oh, wow. And stuff. It's a blast.
See, that's funny that you mentioned that. And you own this game?
Yes.
You'll have to let me borrow it, because I was really thinking about getting it, but I had no idea how it played.
Yeah.
I just need, you travel the panda across.
Well, the panda is just kind of like an NPC, but you get to, like, depending on the die roll, let you move him, because you could screw somebody's plan over. Because if one of the victory things maybe, get a yellow bamboo 4 tall. Okay. So if you know that that's somebody's deal, you can bring them over there and eat one of them. Oh. You know? I mean, you eat a little check, just eats a piece off of it.
Right, you know? Right. And I think it'd be an adorable game to play with cats.
Oh gosh, yeah. Like my wife and girls love it.
And I mean, I love, wait, they like that, but they don't like Mice and Mystics?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. Mice and Mystics is too cutesy, it's shit.
Well,
move the panda!
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just a type of game.
Right.
That's a dungeon crawl, and this is being just
a dick.
Yeah.
Being a dick to people's bamboo.
And plus, it is a little panda.
That's true.
Yeah. Stuff.
Yeah, I definitely have to check that one out.
Yeah, it's great.
All right.
So you want to guess my number 1?
Give me a hint.
It's been.
It says Madigo, right?
Oh, Takanoko was Madigo.
Oh, is it really? Huh? I didn't know that.
See, another one you might like. It's Madigo, which Asmodee owns those now too.
Oh, they own everything. Almost
Yeah.
everything.
This one has been on a previous list. I don't know if that's a big enough hint.
Oh well, you've been on your top 10, and you've been in 2 player games, and actually the one that's not played
Days of Wonder.
It's not Shadows over Camelot.
No.
I was like, what?
No.
Days of Wonder.
Yes.
What's it start with?
Does it start with?
Yeah.
F?
Dang it, that didn't help. Days of Wonder. Go ahead. I'm not gonna get it.
It's 5 Tribes, which is my number one game of all time. And the reason it is because when I bought this game, I bought it because it was Days of Wonder. I didn't buy it because at that time I was like buying all the Days of Wonder games because I knew that they were weighted
the company
for my family and stuff.
Yeah.
And then it had the whole Middle Eastern theme, kind of Arabian theme, I guess. And that's not too high on my list or anything either. And
it's Arabian man.
You know, with meeples and all this stuff, and I'm like, you know what? I played it the first time. Holy crap, this is a good game.
It's your number 1
game. And then I just play the hell out of that game, and the expansions just make it that much better. And I mean, I would, if I had to choose between it and Netrunner, obviously because it's my number 1.
Right.
Netrunner, I'd burn.
Wow.
I mean, this game is. It's gonna take a hell of a game to knock that ever off of my list, just because it's so good.
I haven't played it, and everyone. Actually, funny enough, I've never heard anything bad about it. We'll have to redo the other list because I hate it. It's just shit. No, I mean, really the only thing is, obviously for me, why I haven't played it is Mediterranean or Arabian, and I mean it's Mancala. That doesn't sound interesting in any way. That doesn't mean it's not strategic in any way.
Right.
It's just like I don't like Mancala, so it's like
I think it's the actions though.
I guarantee it has to do something.
That action that you do when you get those color meeples, there's an assassin that can automatically kill a meeple off the board, or I mean, and the expansion adds mountains, so you can't like jump through over mountains, and you have to go. And there's a pit, you can't go through the pit, so you have to kind of. Now I will tell you, Chad will. I think Chad just complained about this game because of the AP for Fletcher.
Oh, okay.
Because you sit there because you can't think ahead. That's the problem, because if you can kind of have your move, okay, I need that red guy, so I'll go here, 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 pick up. But if one person moves through there, then you're screwed.
Gotcha.
You know, but
so you're very reactive because you can't be proactive.
Right, and if you're playing with 4 players,
that's not always bad. Like analysis paralysis, is a thing, but I don't actually care. I only care whenever we're recording,
right?
Then it's a lot of dead space, so I don't care about it in recording as long as we're bantering and talking. But it's like if it's just forever.
But no, it's just I don't know. It's so much better than
we do have to play.
I expected.
There's a lot of games you guys have mentioned that I have to play.
Right.
All right. See if you can guess mine. My hint's it's a deck builder.
It's a deck builder. Like a full-fledged deck builder or a board gaming deck builder?
It's a board gaming deck builder.
Like Clank?
Yeah.
Is it Clank?
No.
Okay.
No. Clank. Dude, that game was all right, actually. It was more deck builder than I liked, but that tiebreaker. John and I tied. Ooh, that tiebreaker is shit.
I can't think of it.
I don't know if you've played it, actually. John raves about it. There's my second hint. You gave me 2 hints. John raves about it, and it's a deck builder.
I don't have a clue.
Aeon's End.
Oh, okay.
Aeon's End is my #1 game I didn't expect to like because of that very reason. It's deck building, and it kind of does deck building the same way as Tyrants. That's why they're actually both really high, because I really do despise deck building. But this one is it's so good, and it's cooperative. So the deck building feels thematic as well, because not only because you don't shuffle your deck and get what you get, you strategically, like City of Iron, strategically place them in ways that you want it, and it just gets flipped. So you can plan ahead in deck building and setting your cards. So now you can get these combos that will come back around, and there's ways to mitigate your deck as in deck building, and there's such variety in the monsters you fight, and each monster is different, have their own cards that will just fuck you over. And every single time we have played, we have either lost by the skin of our teeth or won. But like it's never been like, wow, we didn't have a chance, or wow, you didn't have a chance. It's always been like, okay, we need to go 2 turns in a row to win. Oh God, he went, we lost it.
Yeah. Stuff
like that. And I think it's because it's co-op, I like it so much, and because it's deck building, you have like maybe 15 cards by the end of it, and you have these combos where you're gonna like double damage, and each player has their ability, special ability that are really powerful, but they're not like, it's hard to get, but they're all useful. And then I have the expansion. I backed the Kickstarter, War of Eternal, which actually should be coming out soon.
I was going to back it. I backed out, and then I sold my copy.
You sold your copy? Yeah, so I'm so ready for.
I've never played it.
So good. I'm so ready for War of Eternal, and then it's going to come with the expansions that are hard to get. So, yeah, like it's a solid deck builder co-op game that's just super fun and thematic. But that's it, everyone. That is our top 10 games that we didn't expect to like but did. Let us know what games that you didn't expect to like but did in the comments below. And also, if you have any other top 10 ideas you'd like to see us do, let us know that as well. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you want to support us, you can go ahead and click that link to go to my Patreon account. If you have any suggestions, you can go ahead and click the link in the show notes below to go to my Board Game Geek list. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.